Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Yacach. Come, let us reason together. It is Father's Day week, and normally fathers don't get the appreciation that they deserve. I always say that fatherhood doesn't come with a manual. Nobody is trained to be a father. Fatherhood is one of the jobs you learn, one of the things you have to learn on the job. So today I want us to talk to a very young father, a father of twins. We have Dr. Francis with us. And I just wanted to catch up with Dr. Francis. I just wanted to catch up with you in terms of fatherhood. And I'll start off by asking you, what's your definition of who a father is?
Hmm. Thank you, Reverend. Thank you, Reverend, for inviting me. I think for the five years I've experienced being a father, and I can say my definition of a father would be someone in charge of nurturing kids
Mm.
or in charge of protecting, providing support for kids. No, not really kids per se, but something that need to be nurtured.
Nurtured. Okay, so that you are the nurturer, you are the protector of the. You have twins, it's a set of twins,
Yeah.
5-year-old ladies. They are growing up so well. Can I ask what are some of the? In fact, let's start from this way. What is your relationship with your father like? Because most of us learn how to father children from what we saw our parents do, the good, the bad, and ugly that our parents did to us or taught us is what we know what to take, what not to take to train our children. So, what was your relationship with your father like? And then the second question would be, what are some of the things that you experience as a son with your father that you are determined not to repeat the mistakes your father may have done that you don't want to repeat with your children?
I think growing up like a typical African home, I had a very father-son relationship, but that is based on how we see an African home being developed to be. So my father was my father, and I was a son.
You're not friends.
We are not like friends. Right? The only time you see him having a very nice conversation with you is maybe he's in your report, you've done something very good. Not even encouraging you, like no matter how good the report is, you always find something that
You didn't do well.
you could have
Done better.
You could have done better. So that was a typical relationship. And if you see my father calling you at a particular time, then you see it's going to be a disappointment there somewhere there.
So was it like a name that he calls you that makes you know you're in trouble? Or is it the tone that you used to call you that makes you know you're in trouble?
But when my father is coming to discipline you, he won't call you. Like my siblings will come and call you, then you know there's like a trouble, there's a big issue. Yeah. Then he will see you like even playing and just pass and go to the room. Then my siblings will come and call you that is calling you. Then you know you're
in real trouble.
You're in big trouble. So that was how we grew up. But that relationship built was good, and in some way growing up was also have its own negative. It built some kind of respect for the fatherly figure in your life, such that you do before complain, and you always know that whatever they are telling you to do it's for you. It's for you. It's the best for you, even though you might not understand that. And sometimes, even if you don't understand that, the fear of being punished will let you do it. But growing up to you realize that if you don't get yourself out of that, out of that principle that has been incorporated in you, you kind of you can't be yourself. You tend to be a follower in every environment, which I don't want to.
I think that's a very, very important thing you've touched on there. Because of the authoritative nature of fathers at the time, it made the children not be independent thinkers. You're like scared to bring your idea, scared to bring your objection in case they want you to do something, you have an alternative. You are scared to bring it out, which is something different from the children that are brought up, in the Western world, where they are allowed to speak their minds, they are allowed to tell what they would or would not do, and they are encouraged to bring it up. So, in your case, with that, you have the two. How do you know how to bring the African part of you out? And how do you know when to encourage the Western part for your children?
I think since I became a father, and before that, I naturally like kids. So, but I always realized kids became very confident when adults allow them the room to have their own way around them. They become very, very confident, like can speak their mind, what is with them, and can even draw your attention to something you're not even paying attention to, which is really good. Like they said, encourage. They are very, very confident. Their teachers always say they are very, very confident. But one disadvantage of it is sometimes it can go overboard, and that's where the African father
has to come in.
So
you manage to be like get the balance ready on them. Okay, all right. So apart from your father, who were the other father figures that you had in your life that you learned from? Me, for instance, I grew up with my father till I think the age of 12, 13, and my father disappeared till I was about 18, 19. So my formative years, I was not with my father, but I had father figures around me. So most of the things I know as a father, I learned from other people. So did you have other type of fathers around that you picked up a few things that has helped you to be a rounded father?
Yeah, I think that's one of the advantages I've had in my life. I've had so many fathers in my life. A lot of people have played a very fatherly role in my life. Like growing up in a typical African home, like it was a compound house, and I had a few uncles who would discipline you per se. Everyone would like to discipline you, but I had one particular one who is the next to my father, the Reverend Minister, who was really, really, he was not really keen to discipline you, but he's really keen in imparting in every part of your life. Like, even if he see you outside around a certain time, you will know that it will be a big issue. You call you, unified advise you. When I was in the JSS, I was going to a school which was the headmaster was a relative of my father. And that man, my support also really took a very keen interest. So when I was in school, anybody can misbehave, and they will get it they don't get punished there.
But you always got it.
Yes, because if you punish, we won't go anywhere. So that one became very, 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 very strong in my life. Then, as I moved out, I went to stay with my uncle, who was also he instilled the culture of independence, because he was my uncle and was a fatherly figure in my life, but he was those kind of people. He's not going to give you everything in a silver platter. So it gave you that kind of ambition. You want to do something for yourself and this kind of thing. Then I moved into the UK, and I've had a lot of fathers, yourself,
Wow.
my professors and other things who have really shaped how I have to do myself.
That's great. So, in a place, a community like the church setting where we are, they say it takes a village to raise a child. So, do you see yourself also playing fatherly roles to like other young people around, when I say young people, I'm not really talking only about children, young men, young women growing up. Do you see yourself being like that uncle that you had, playing vital roles in terms of nurturing, discipline, or encouraging? Do you see yourself doing the same?
Yeah, I think I've been doing one or two informal family for people. I think it's when you have the opportunity to meet younger ones, and normally if people, to be a father to someone, you have to have an authority over the person, and they have to give you that kind of room to have that kind of authority over them. But some of the young ones have, if sometimes they see, they can see, and they will ask you certain questions. I remember one day, one of them asked me, what is the greatest advice I can give to him as a young person? And I was telling him a lot of things, because some of the things you cannot even say it in public. It's, as a young man, you have a lot, you deal with a lot of things. And if you can have a young person or someone who have passed the experience to tell you that, it really help you. Like me, for instance, my stay in the UK for a decade now, it has been because I have had people who have had shown interest in me and tell me to do certain things at certain particular times. And it has helped me, because they were father to me. I also deliberately decided to become a son and listen to what they wanted to tell me. Yeah.
So the role of a father is when the son or the daughter gives you that room to operate as a father
to them,
and
yeah.
you're able to really go out of your way to father them. But what about when, like you were saying, African setting, you see a child misbehaving, whether you know them or not, you know the parents or not, you just discipline them, and it's fine. But in the Western world, you can't just discipline a child. But I also feel that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be able to correct young people we see doing the wrong things, whether their parents may consent to it or not. So I don't know whether you had any experience, especially in a church, where you've seen a child maybe misbehaving and you felt the urge to correct them.
Oh, no, I've seen one or two. Recently, there was an incident I saw, but I'll always find the channel to discipline people. So, for example, if I see a child who is obviously misbehaving, and I know I can't discipline them, but I know someone who can discipline their parents, so I'll use that, to kind of make sure the child is corrected. Yeah.
So, Caris and Lysette are growing so wonderfully well. And as a father, your dream is for them to do better than you did. So I'm going to ask, as a father, what are some of the things that you are planning for them to make their lives better, make the experience of life better than maybe what you had?
I think when I was growing up, I had a very boss mind. Everybody wanted to be a lawyer, everybody wanted to be a doctor, and that's all what.
So either you'll become a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, and that's it. This is boxed.
Yeah. And I think as I grow, I feel like it limits my imagination, what I really wanted to do. And I think some of my talent couldn't be nurtured at that point. And what I've really set my mind up for this too is just guide them to be who they want to be.
Okay.
Not necessarily. Yeah, because if I should start life again, I would have become something different than what I was.
But you haven't had a bad life. You've done well for yourself. So what makes you think that you would have done better if you had the opportunity?
No, not just better. I would have done something that I really think I would have been much useful. I think currently I'm really operating below my talent.
Wow. Yeah. Now, says a man who has, maybe because of social media, I'm not going to tell you, but this man has invented a few very, very important drugs that are being used by doctors. Anyway, we're not going to go into that, but we're dealing with fathers today, so we're going to maybe another time when I am able to capture you, we'll
talk about drug discovery.
But for today is more fatherhood. So what are some of the like you're talking about making the children confident and comfortable? What's the strategy to create an atmosphere at home that makes the children blossom? Because sometimes my father, for instance, anytime he was at home, there was tension. Nobody could laugh. Nobody could crack a joke. You couldn't do anything. You're either reading, you're either sweeping or sleeping or something. But you can't be just idle. I remember once. I tell this joke and then we'll continue. I remember once, my father would come. He had this car when it turns around the corner in the street, at the end of the street. Everybody knew the sound of his car. So those who are pretending to sleep will go and sleep. Those who are pretending to read books upside down. And then this time around, I was sitting behind the piano and I was playing the piano. And I was so excited. I was just singing and playing. So I did not hear the man coming. And that was number one sin. Number two sin was that he came, the car stood behind the gate and was blowing the horn for someone to open the gate, and I did not hear. Number two sin. Number three sin, he had to get down himself to go open the gate and drive the car in and close the gate back. So I was playing
the punishment.
I was just playing the piano. Before I knew it, I was wooing on myself.
Oh, God.
He gave me the greatest knock that reset my mind. So the atmosphere in my house was so much that if the old man is at home, you can't even think. You have to behave yourself extra. Even when you're watching TV, you have to turn the TV down. Everybody have to whisper because your voice shouldn't go beyond a certain volume. Is that type of household do you create, or what type of atmosphere do you create at home for your children to thrive in?
Yeah, I think sometimes they sit and carry, they will forget I'm their father. unless they see that I'm serious now. And I don't know how it came about though, but they become like my friends in such a way that when, like for example, when they wake up early morning and they take their tablet and I tell them to put it down, Carrie will always tell me, you need to put your phone down. Then they come back from school recently. I don't know where they pick these things from. Then if he does something, I say, if you don't take our smack it, if I do that, you'll be happy. But that kind of confidence they have is I think it's something that has come out of the environment they've enjoyed in the home, knowing that you'll be punished when you need to be punished, but it's not like you're being taken advantage of or you're being kind of sabotaged in the house. So I've tried my best to try and create that atmosphere for them to feel very comfortable and try it.
I don't know whether you agree with me on this, that fathers are not celebrated as much as mothers. When it's Mother's Day, the shops, anywhere in the shops, you see that's Mother's Day. When it's Father's Day, even if you blink, you lose. You even realize that Father's Day is come and gone. Do you encourage your children to celebrate you as a father, or you rather they celebrated your wife more than you?
Wow, very, very tricky. I think for when before I had this kid, I used to like when I come from work, I would still work till like 12, like always with my laptop. But I realized nowadays, even when I don't remember the last time I opened my laptop at at the house. I try my best to be available for them and be with them. But you realize the kind of input that I put in come no near to what their mother does for them.
Okay.
So it become very natural. I like it become very natural. But they pay attention to certain things because if their mom told them it's my birthday, you will see they show a lot of interest in it. Yeah, but as even I myself I'm a father, but I think I celebrated my mother more than I celebrated my father. So it comes with
I make a big deal out of it. I always tell the children, I always protest that if you're going to buy me just socks, a pair of socks, because it's Father's Day, they don't bother. Because when it's Mother's Day, they take the mom, out dinner, and I enjoy that. It's Mother's Day, let's go have dinner with mom and make the song and dance. And I expect the same thing to be done when it's Father's Day. And not necessarily because I want to be celebrated, but I want the children to be rounded. That it's not because like growing up, my generation, we all loved mothers and didn't want to deal with fathers, But I think that gradually that thing will turn. We should be able to celebrate both parents because both parents cannot be the same. Mother's love is different from father's love. But it doesn't mean that mother's love is better than father's love.
Yeah.
So we have to find a way to teach the kids that.
I think when I was a child, every time my father would discipline you and you are crying like he seems very sad. He used to make a very comment that when you grow up and you travel, you buy me a towel, then you build a house for your mother. It was just very
Which is true.
Yeah.
But I mean, fathers are great people, and I mean, you'll never know the love of a father until they are no more.
Oh yeah.
That's when you see that they love different, but they love nevertheless. I remember once, I think I'm going on too much, but I'll tell you this story. I remember once my dad came to the UK and I'd finished uni and started work. I had my 2-bedroom flat. I was single, and I'd bought my first phone, cordless. Those cordless phones in the home. I had that, and I had this Nikon camera that I just bought, and I had nice things in the house. He came to my house for the first time. He was walking around and said, he saw this phone. He says, "Whose is this?" And I said, "It's mine." He said, "Put it in the bag." Then he saw the camera. He took the camera. He said, "Whose is this?" I said, "It's mine." He said, "Put it in there." I mean, this was in a box, like brand new. He said, "Put it in the bag." And he saw a few things in the house. "Whose is there?" "Put it in the bag." So put in the bag, put it in the bag. The bag got full. So as he was leaving my flat, I was walking behind with a bag full of my things that I had bought.
Appliances. Yeah.
Appliances I bought, and he took it with him. And the day he died, I went to the house, I went to his room. I saw my camera that he took about 15 years previously. It was not open. It was sitting on his desk. My phone was sitting on his desk. And it's like, I was asking my mom, this man came and deprived me of all this. He said, my mom said, anytime anybody comes to his study, he says, "Look at what my son gave me. Look at this. My son is doing so well. And then I take him down. He's like, this is that. Fathers love differently.
Yeah,
fathers have a way of, they will not tell you, but how they appreciate and pride in your success. You will never say.
I think no. I think no one has been proud of me like than my father before he passed away, because he he calls you at random times in the afternoon. Yeah. How are you? Then you see him saying, "Oh, my name is bad doctor." Then he used to do that. So I asked my sister. This person said, "Oh, when he's with his friends, like that, when he's
It's
with
a
his
bragging
friends,
right.
I'm telling you, because he
His
said
son is a doctor.
you do that. Then when you finish, you call my sister. Oh, my dad didn't come on." So he was really proud of me. He was really proud of us, and as he said, he never told me like, "Oh, I'm really proud of you guys. You've done anything," but you could see like it was something that he think he's really done well for himself by the success of his children. Yeah.
Well, all too soon we've come to the end of this conversation. But as for Dr. Francis, you can talk to him, until the cows come home. He's a great, great guy, great father. And fathers are very, very important. And if you have a father, treat him well. And don't take your father for granted. And this is just to let us know that at whatever age, whatever stage we are in life, but for a father, we won't be where we are. So treat them well. If your father's alive, give them a call, talk to them. Don't, respond to how those, what do you call it, the things that you thought he did wrong, raising you up. Don't treat him that way. Show love and let him be proud of you. Until we come back next time with an interesting conversation, this has been your host, Pastor Chris, and this has been Yacach. We'll see you next time. Shalom, peace. God bless.